One day you wake up and all of a sudden you are in your 40s or mid 40s. I'm 46. I mean, where did time go? Social media has us believing that the key to being fit is being ripped and tanned and jacked and shredded year round, only eating chicken, broccoli, and rice, grinding, getting up at 2:30 in the morning, hardly sleeping at all. All of that couldn't be further from the truth. The grind mindset was created by people that are grifting you, that want to sell you something, that are lying to you about what they do with their own bodies, what they are eating, what they are putting in their bodies, performance enhancing drugs that they are taking, things that they are doing, surgeries that they're getting. These people are lying to you. They want you to buy their products, buy their supplements. Being in shape in your 40s is about balance and consistency. You have to rest. That's when we grow. Being on a good schedule, making the right decisions in the gym, not overdoing it in the gym. Many people are overdoing it. They're lifting too much. There's nothing wrong with lifting heavy. I'm not saying that. Or doing a lot of volume. Look, if you're a bodybuilder or a power lifter, I'm not talking to you. That's different. If you're pursuing a sport, we're not talking about that. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Phil. I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years. I've managed personal training teams in Washington, D.C., as well as in New York City. I was a private personal trainer at the Core Club, and I also worked with a lot of clients privately. People just want to look good and feel good about themselves. They want to be able to do things. Get up a few flights of steps, go for a walk and not be tired, bring their groceries in without a problem, move some stuff around the house, maybe have visible abs or at least a flat stomach. Who are you and what are your fitness goals? What are your experiences with exercise and fitness? Did you play sports when you were younger? Were you naturally athletic? All of these things come into play. Or are you somebody that just turned 40 and it's your first time in the gym and you've never done anything? You work a sedentary job. Goals have to be specific and measurable and achievable for all of us as individuals. We are all individuals and we have different needs. How comfortable are you with your body? How important is technique to you? Mobility work. Do you know what mobility work is? Or do you think of mobility work as just stretching? Do you work construction? Do you work overtime? Do you have a long commute? Your program's going to be drastically different than somebody that works from home, that's able to get a lot of sleep. Not that working from home or working on a computer isn't stressful. It absolutely is. It's a different kind of stress. But one of the goals that all of us should have with our fitness is to minimize stress and to have fun. Exercise and fitness should be fun. It's not always going to be a blast. Sometimes it's going to hurt like hell. It's going to be really painful, but it doesn't always have to be. And you don't have to kill yourself in the gym. You're better off doing 20 minutes of resistance training 2 or 3 times a week and getting the most out of all of it, getting the most out of your body for that 20 minutes without overtraining than you are working out 5, 6, 7 days a week for an hour and a half and overdoing it and making yourself miserable. Especially as we age, it becomes easier to overtrain. Now, if you are somebody that trained a lot in your 20s and in your 30s, and you're an athletic person, you have good technique, you know how to work out, you're good at working out, you've just been away from it for a while, you really need to ease back into it. I cannot stress that enough. If you have the ability to perform an exercise well and recruit a lot of muscle fibers and you jump back into doing that, you're going to be miserably sore. You're going to be extremely sore and uncomfortable and probably going to overtrain. And you definitely want to minimize overtraining in your 40s because it's a reality for most of us. Unless you're on TRT or performance enhancing drugs, it can be very easy to overtrain. And again, I'm talking to you guys and girls here that are athletic, that like to push yourselves, that have an athletic background. It's going to be easy for you to overtrain. You need to focus on rest and recovery and nutrition. More rest, more recovery, more nutrition. As to where if you're somebody that's always been sedentary and you've never been athletic, you've got to get that mind-muscle connection between your mind and your muscles. You've got to learn how to recruit your muscle fibers when you train. And social media has us caught up in the amount of weight you should be lifting. You see the kids posting stuff about if you can't bench 315, you're weak, or, some of that's probably just for attention or a bunch of nonsense, but none of that really matters. The physical stuff while it is important, we all want to look good, feel good, be lean, look good in our clothes, be strong, be able to do things. It's what's up here. You want to sleep well at night. You want to feel good about who you are. There isn't a better form of therapy out there, in my opinion, than a good workout routine, good exercise, good rest, good nutrition. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to eat like a bird and just eat chicken and broccoli and rice and never touch any French fries. I love French fries. I love pizza. I love burgers. I just don't overdo it. I don't overdo it. And on days when I do eat those foods, I do not eat a lot. Like I may have, what I'll do, for example, if I'm gonna have pizza, I'll have it for the middle of the day for lunch, and then I'll eat very light the rest of the day. And I may fast the next morning for a few hours. If you don't have the diet dialed in, you really need to get that down or get comfortable with food. It is extremely important to get that down. You should not be starving. The more you're working, the more calories you're gonna need. And again, somebody that's a construction worker, that has a long commute, that works 50, 60 hours a week, they're gonna need a lot more calories. And they're actually gonna need less time in the gym. They're gonna need less reps and sets if they wanna grow, especially if they're an older person, a person in their 40s or 50s. You need that rest, going to bed, getting that sleep, staying on a good schedule, being consistent, getting enough water, healthy fats, good proteins, and carbs. Do not be scared of carbs. Carbohydrate, they hydrate you. They hydrate your muscles. And don't train like a bodybuilder if you're not a bodybuilder. You don't need to spend an hour doing biceps and triceps on a Friday. You don't really even need an arm day. You can do full body workouts. You can do splits, upper body split, lower body split, or a push-pull split. Should definitely do mobility work and body weight work. I'm big on that stuff. Chin-ups, pull-ups, even just hanging from a bar is so good for you. Right now, to challenge yourself, see if you can hang from a bar for 30 seconds. It's harder than it sounds. 30 seconds doesn't sound like a lot of time. And in the movies, they make it seem easy, right? But can you hang from a bar for 30 seconds? If anybody has any questions or wants to add anything, feel free to comment below. Let's get a discussion going here. You know, fitness it's just been a big part of my life for so long. I think everybody should be active in some way. Not everybody has to be a gym person. You can do a lot outdoors. You can do a lot at home. A couple of kettlebells and some free weights is really all you need. A jump rope, and then go on some hikes for your cardio. And I mean, you can get in killer shape just doing that. Killer shape. You want to get your steps in, especially if you are sedentary. If you're at a computer all day, try to get those 10,000 steps in. You don't have to get that in every day. If you don't get 10,000 in one day, then the next day try to get 12,000. Or maybe you could have one day where you get 20,000 steps in, and then you take a few days off. It really doesn't have to be 10,000. It could be 7,000. It could be 5,000 even, especially if you are deconditioned, if you're out of shape. Start small, start slow. You want to get 1% better each and every day. That's all it is, man. 1% better each and every day. And I cannot stress enough, I want you guys to forget about that grind mindset and these grifters out there that are just selling courses, they're on steroids, and they're acting like they have this special recipe or plan, when in reality is they're doing drugs. And look, if you are on steroids or drugs, you still have to put the work in. I'm not saying that just because somebody uses PEDs doesn't mean that they don't have to put the work in. I'm just saying that they're lying to you. They're not telling you the truth. And unfortunately, that's the way it is for a lot of fitness influencers. The women too, a lot of the women are on performance enhancing drugs. Think of it this way. Think about how many women, and men too, lie about getting work done, whether it's Botox or fillers or a facelift. People lie about that stuff, right? It's the same thing with the performance enhancing drugs. They want to act like they're all natural. It's the same exact thing, because unfortunately there's the stigma around it. I say unfortunately because I think it'd be better if everybody was open about what they were doing and what they were taking. To recap here, guys, fitness should be about having positive thoughts about yourself and about your goals. Sometimes less is more. We live in a world where nothing is ever enough, right? But really, maybe less is more. Maybe less is the answer. Less time in the gym. Having great technique is so important. Really focus and learn on how to perform exercises properly. And you will get much more out of your exercises if you learn to perform them properly and use the right amount of weight and be in the proper rep range for your goals. And that's going to be different for everybody. I cannot stress enough, getting your rest. We grow when we rest. Resting enables us to do everything. So getting good sleep is so big. And I hate it when those with the grind mindset say sleep less, get up at 2:30, and they have all this BS that they throw at you. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster, especially if you're busy and you've got a lot going on like many of you do. You need more sleep, not less. We're all different. We have different genetics. What works for your friends may not work for you. If somebody has a different body than you, somebody that's a lot taller or a lot shorter, the length of your limbs and the size of your joints, your range of motion has so much to do with how an exercise is going to impact you. Think about Michael Jordan or LeBron James doing a squat at 6'6". What are those guys? 6'6" to 6'8". Much different exercise than somebody that's 5'7" doing a squat, 5'8", right? It's going to be a lot easier for the person at 5'7" or 5'8" to squat, unless they have back issues or something. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.